Wi-Fi and they got Wi-Fi in the truck. So sometimes the Wi-Fi weak in here, sometimes it's strong. I don't have a real phone signal where I'm at right now. Sitting still, but want to pop in and want to share a message with my fellas. Been talking to a lot of guys and getting some messages more and more from guys, and it's very interesting to me, how men learn. I just did the self-love retreat in California. A lot of the women in the room were single women, but it was not one man that came. And a lot of the women on the campus from other courses were asking me, like, why don't men do this type of stuff? And I'm like, I really don't know what to tell you. I guess they say men cry in the dark. I'm guessing we learn in the dark too, and don't want people to see that we're working on ourselves. And to be honest with you, the world has been given to men. Like, it's been given to men so easily. And I'm not saying this in a good way. What I'm saying is anything that's given to you, you got to be careful with free, because free oftentimes have snares. I don't really want anything free. Even my salvation was not free. Christ paid a price for it. It wasn't free. So you got to be careful with free. And what's happening in our world, it has been given to the men so easily. So men today don't feel like you got to invest in yourself. Men today don't feel like you got to grow your mind, like you got to read books, like you got to go to seminars, like you got to sign up for coaching. I can count on one hand how many men hire me, for life coaching, hire anybody for life coaching. And the only thing men focus about today is money and business. Like, we got it backwards. As men, we got it backwards because we focus on how much money can I make? How big can I build my brand? How famous can I be? Can I be a speaker? Can I be a life coach? But who are you? Like, who are you? Like, where is your heart at? Have you worked on your heart? Do you love yourself? Who are you loving? Like, how do you treat the woman in your life? How do you treat this woman? Are you stringing her along? Or are you going to marry her? Are you faithful to her? Like, we getting the wrong messages, and we looking at the wrong examples, and we looking for the glitz and the glam. We looking for the money and the fame, but we're not willing to do the work. We're not willing to do the work. And I'm telling you, like, so many guys reach out to me. Guys reach out to me all the time, but nobody reach out really and say, Tony, how can I become a better man? How can I love my woman better? How can I treat her like a queen? How can I be faithful? Like, guys don't reach out to me about that. They reach out to me about, how can I make money as a speaker? How can I make money as a life coach? How can I build business? And I got to let you know, you focus on the wrong thing. Like, when you look around, like when I look at a man, I judge that man's character. I judge a man by how he treats the woman in his life, because that's the first thing that God gave to Adam was a woman. The Bible says a man who finds a wife finds a good thing and receives favor from the Lord. So when I meet a man, I judge him by how he treats the woman in his life. Is that woman being respected, being promoted? Is that woman, is she put on a pedestal? Is she treated like a queen? A good book, Ephesians 5, says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. Do you love her the way Christ loved the church? Even if you're not Christian, have you heard that before? Love your wives as Christ loved the church. Do you love her like Christ loved the church? Are you sacrificing for her? Are you treating her with love and respect? Are you talking to her the way Christ talked to the church? How are you treating this woman in your life? That's how I judge a man. And so, if even with me doing business with a man, if I do business with a man, he either got to be single and abstinent, or if he's married, I got to feel like he's faithful. I got to feel like he's a good man, that he's treating his woman right, because how a man treats his woman, that tells me what type of man he is, because we think a man's rite of passage is making money. We think a man's rite of passage is building business and being famous. A man's rite of passage is how he loves a woman. You're not a man until you can learn how to love a woman with 100% of you and be 100% faithful. That's when you're a man. And the reason why I say that is because that's the hardest thing it is in the world for a man to do, to be faithful to one woman. And women say that's asinine. That doesn't make any sense. How is that so hard? You'll never understand it, young lady. So don't worry about it because you don't have the mind of a man. What you got to realize, God says, my ways are higher than your ways. My thoughts are higher than your thoughts. So God is telling you, as I think, you won't understand. We created in God's image. So a man will never fully understand a woman, and a woman will never fully understand a man, because we don't have the same mental makeup. We don't have the same brain. We don't have the same, DNA and genes. So ladies, when I'm talking about this and I'm talking about men, not everything I say will make sense to you because you don't have what it takes to fully understand a man, and vice versa. So a man knows that the hardest thing it is in the world to do is be faithful to one woman. Now, I ask myself why. And I believe it could be because it is our nature. We were created to be fruitful and replenish the earth. And God is the creator. And the only way that you can rewire that desire is if there's a little bird on my mirror looking in my car. He said, man, what you in there talking about? Little bird right here on my mirror. The only way we can rewire that is through Christ, when you become a new creature. And when you don't have Christ, when you're not seeking God, that's why I don't believe in a man who doesn't have faith being faithful. And when you listen to these men and you really talk to them, it's not many men. You count on one or two hands how many men could be faithful on their own strength. You ain't gonna see it. That's why y'all look at celebrity couples and y'all praise celebrity couples and relationship goals and all that. I know better, because I know what you see on the media, what you see all that. No. 99% of it fake. 99% of it smoke and mirrors, because the hardest thing in the world is men who at the top of the world that I done had to coach. They jump off through depression. It's men who getting all the praise in the world for being faithful that I'm coaching. They jump off through depression. I done seen it. I done been in the trenches. So I see men differently. And a lot of times people don't really understand. See, men, everything starts with us. Because when you look at a child gonna love his or her mother. Gonna absolutely love mama. But if daddy is there and daddy in the picture, it's a different type of love. If daddy is a good daddy, it's a different type of love. Like me being a mentor to the NBA players, NFL players, you know who the guys that do not care what I got to say a lot of times is guys who had an active, good father in the home, who was active and there. They respect me. They'll talk to me, but they're like, Tony, I don't need you, because my dad was in the home every day giving me the game. Guys who didn't have that, they're more open to listen and learn from other men, because they didn't have that every day. But it showed me the power of a father. When you look at daughters, when I look at women, a woman who had a good father in her home, she's not to be toyed with. A good father. I'm not talking about a father who just was there sleeping in the bed paying bills. I'm talking about a good father who was open, who was transparent, who gave her the game, who dialogued with her, who taught her how a man thinks, how a man moves. A woman who had that in her life, she hard to penetrate. Don't think sexually, but she hard to break down. You can't just game her. If that man was there and he was doing what he was supposed to do, and now sometimes a man could do everything and the girl still turn out wrong, or his son still turn out wrong. It's not all on the parents. But what I'm saying is that men have more power than we understand. That's why I don't understand this lame breed of men today. Like I don't understand it. Like, I believe we all have it in us to be a lame, you know, to be a old cornball, whatever y'all want to call it. But it comes a certain age to where you got to get it together. It comes a certain age where you got to man up. It comes a certain age where you got to pull your britches up and you got to be a man. And you got to realize that, well, much is given, much is required. And that if God made you first and he said you got dominion over this earth, that a lot of responsibility come with that. That means that if he say this is my queen, this is my woman that I've given to you, she's fearfully and wonderfully made. Love her the way Christ loved the church. That's a high call. That's a high call, man. And the repercussions for disobeying that is going to be deathly. Like you gonna die a death of a 1,000 nails. Like you gonna suffer when you take God's children, when you take his queen that he fearfully and wonderfully made, and you abuse her and you dog her out and you mistreat her. Now, there is grace that could be granted. God granted me grace, but I had to get it right. See, you can't take grace for granted, or eventually grace will no longer be granted. And that's why you'll see guys end up getting murdered by a woman, end up getting killed by a jump off, end up, dying of HIV, dying of different diseases. A lot of the time that's because of the recompense that was in your body. The Bible talk about the sexual promiscuity and how when men started doing all these vile things and got reckless, how they received the recompense in their body. To me, when I read that, that meant AIDS. And when I read that, that's what I saw that as a sexually transmitted disease. See, it's repercussions. See, the wages of sin is death. So if God said don't fornicate, if you keep fornicating, the wages of your sin, the pay for your sin is death. So saith the good book. Now, if you get married and you cheating, that's sin. If you keep sinning, eventually you're going to be killed. What I mean by that, either you're going to kill your marriage, you're going to kill your career, or you may physically get killed by the woman you cheating on, her boyfriend that you sleeping with her and she got a man. Because look here, the Bible even talk about that. I think in the book of Proverbs, it talk about how, who can stop a man when he angry, when you done cheated with his woman, when you done slept with his woman, when you done touched his prize. So a lot of y'all guys, man, you out here, you killing yourself. And the thing is, the wages of sin is death. So what that means is when you out here living reckless, when you out here living raw, and you out here raw dogging, and you out here living this lifestyle, it starts to break you down internally. It breaks you down from the inside out, because the more you sleeping around, the less sensitive you become to your behavior. So guess what? I was sleeping around when I was 19, 20 years old, but I didn't smoke weed. I didn't smoke nothing. Cigars, Black and Mild, cigarettes. I didn't drink. I didn't even curse. But I was Dirty D around here. And everything I could get in. Because that's what I was taught that make you a man. I realized that make you a fool. I realized that make you a lame. I realized that you full of pain. And you trying to mask your pain by giving yourself to women. And see, today we are raising relationally retarded men. And I don't say the word retarded in a derogatory term. I say it in the clinical term. We're raising men who are relationally incapable of adapting and creating a healthy relationship. We're raising men who are 25, 30, 35, 40, and cannot be in a healthy relationship, don't know how to cultivate real love and be healthy, don't know how to treat a woman like a queen, how to talk to her with respect, how to protect and how to provide, and how to love her with everything in him. We living with a race and a generation of men who want to be single until they die, who want to sleep around until they die, who want to be having threesomes and foursomes, and got women depressed and suicidal because you're lying to her, you're mistreating her, you're beating on her verbally, emotionally, and or physically. Then you're ghosting her. Then you're coming back. Bruh, get it together. Get it together. You need Jesus. You need Jesus. I don't know who you talking to, who you dealing with, who you leaning on, who in your circle, who been giving you game. Because look at here, I'm here to tell you. It's your rite of passage as a man is to love a woman the way God loves her. That got to be your goal. And from there, everything flows. It ain't nothing else in the Bible that tell you you're going to receive favor from the Lord other than a man who finds a wife receives favor from the Lord. Now, it might be some living right and stuff in there that give you favor, but the one for sure thing that the good book says you will receive favor from the Lord is a man who finds a wife. Understand that. Understand that. It's not a man who get 1 million followers on Instagram will receive favor from the Lord. It's not a man who builds a multi-million-dollar brand and business will receive favor from the Lord. No, a man who finds a wife. But see, the thing is marriage don't mean you found a wife. What mean you found a wife is when you treat her the way Christ treat her. When you love her the way Christ loved the church. When you faithful to her, that means you found a wife. See, just because you get married don't mean you found a wife. If you married but you cheating, you got a concubine. You don't have a wife. You got a concubine. You got you a floor mat. You got you a lapdog. You don't have a wife if you married and you cheating. You don't have you a queen. You treat her like a peasant. You treat her like a concubine. You treat her like the gum on the bottom of your shoe. You treat her like the lint between your toes. You treat her like she the daughter of the devil instead of a child of God. When you married and you cheating. So look, we all make mistakes. But see, it's a difference between making a mistake and being a mistake. It's a difference between making a mistake and then making a choice. See, we all slip and fall. But the thing is, you got to get up. You got to repent. And then you got to go and sin no more. That's what Jesus told the lady when he sent off. He said, go and sin no more. He didn't say go and keep on sinning. He said, be perfect as I am perfect. He's saying pursue perfection. Pursue perfection. You might not attain perfection, but you should definitely be in pursuit of it. And if you are in pursuit of it, that means you're living a righteous lifestyle. And I'm going to tell you, it's not that hard. It is not that hard. Guess what? I'm 100% faithful to my wife. And I know I could get other women. I know it's jump offs out here. I know it's some concubines out here. I know it's some women who crazy enough to believe if I want to tell her I'm unhappy in my marriage, I'm separated, and it ain't working, but she won't let me go. She crazy. It's crazy. It's women crazy enough to believe that and to date me if I want to do that. That ain't what I want. It's not what I want because I'm trying to please the audience of one. I'm trying to please God because I realize that's where my blessings flow from. I realize I got to be aligned in order to be assigned. See, you can't be assigned if you're not aligned. You can't get your assignment if you're out of alignment. You cannot be touched and blessed and favored. You can't step into your season. You can't get everything. Like when you look at guys who cheating on their woman, guys cheating on their wife, I don't care if they got millions of dollars. Guess what? If they were faithful, they'll have 10 times the millions that they already got. Guarantee it. Because it's more than just the favor of God. It's just where your mind is at. when you don't have to worry about getting caught up, when you don't have to worry about getting exposed, when you don't have to worry about those things, you're able to focus on your grind. You're able to focus. You're able to direct your time. You're able to build and grow because you can operate from a place of peace. You can operate from a place of strength. See, understand what I'm telling you. Your rite of passage is to love a woman purely, without lying, cheating, misleading, and deceiving. When you can do that, that's when you're a man. If you can't do that, you're a grown boy. But it all comes down to your choices. And you got to ask yourself what you're going to choose. What are you going to choose? Are you going to choose to be a grown boy? Or are you going to choose to be a grown man? Hey, I got to get back in here to my meeting. God bless you. You know, share this with your brother, with your husband if he acting up, with your boyfriend if he acting up, you know, with your cousin, with your guy friend. Fellas, listen to me. Listen to me. These little hearts that you see over there, those ain't dollars. Those ain't dollars. Them don't mean a thing over there. Them little hearts you see. So I want you to understand. What I'm telling you, this ain't for money. Now, if them were dollars, you could question me. I'm telling you this message for free. I'm giving you this message here for free. And the people that I serve, listen here, the people that I serve, they got their own problems. They got their own struggles. A lot of guys think, oh, you saying that for the money. You doing that for the money. Listen to me. Ain't no money in this. Ain't no money in the truth. It's money in lies. It's money in the games. Ain't no money in the truth. Ain't no money in the truth. And these people who listening to me right now, you think they giving me donation? No. They ain't giving me no donation. No. Okay? At best, they might share this. They might share this with somebody else, but that ain't paying my bills. So what I'm telling you is coming from my assignment. And I got my assignment because I'm in alignment. And when God say, hey, you got to share this because I got somebody on the fence. I got a brother on the fence. I got a brother on the fence. He's struggling. He got a purpose in him that's great, but he can't get in line. He out here in sex sin. He fornicating or he in adultery. And he got to get it right. And if he get it right, I could use him. I can move in his life, but he caught up. He caught up because he looking at the wrong mentors. He looking at the guys that just showing off their money and showing off their private jets and showing off their speaking engagements. But he ain't looking for the guys that's showing off their wife. That's showing off their faithfulness. He ain't looking for them, so he lost. He confused. And he think that power is in how many women he can sleep with. He think that influence is how many women he can lure into his bedroom. He lost. He confused. But I need to reach him. I got to get to him. Because listen to me. If men can unite and be real men, we could change the world. You could change the world. You don't have to raise grown boys that become the president of the United States or the president in your country, wherever you are, and be an idiot, be a fool, be a male chauvinist, be sexist. We don't have to continue raising men like that. We could raise real men who understand the value and the position of a woman, who understand the rare, precious being that God has blessed us with. We can raise our men to understand that. We can raise our daughters to understand that about herself. And then as men, we don't have to be seeking praise. Say, oh, what about the men? Oh, what about the men? We special too. Oh, what about us? What about us? See, look, God done already validated you as a man. But he put a man in place to validate that woman. And Ephesians says a man should love his wife the way Christ loved the church. And it tell a wife to submit unto her husband as unto God. So what God did is he took and he created a hierarchy. He said it's me, it's man, then it's your woman. He said, look, man, I'm going to love you. I'm going to validate you. I'm going to bless you. But I need you to love this woman the way I love you. The way I love her. I need you to love her in that way because she'll put you before me. That's what God said. God told a woman, Sarah called Abraham Lord. How many men have taken a woman from her children, made her lose focus, made her neglect her kids because she chasing after him? How many men have stripped a woman from her family, from her friends, because she worried about being in a relationship? How many men have taken a woman's mind, have caused a woman to commit suicide, or have literally killed her or forced her to kill him because he took her mind? See, a woman or put a man before God. If a man get a woman's heart, this woman will start doing whatever this man say do. It's women who cannot follow me online because their boyfriend say, you better choose between me and Tony effing Gaskins today. That's what they telling them. And so guess what? Because she want a man and she know I can't be her man, she hit the unfollow button. So what he does is he isolates her. He isolates her so he can annihilate her. Pastor Brad White say isolation is annihilation. See, he'll isolate her and remove her of her resources. Remove the resources out of her life. Stop calling your mama so much. Stop calling your sister so much. I don't like your best friend. I think she like me. He'll tell that lie. Best friend think you stink. She smell your musk. He'll tell that lie, say, I think your best friend like me. So that the woman got to cut the best friend off. So that she got to create distance. He'll tell the best friend, I think your best friend gay. I think she want to sleep with you. You got to cut her off. You got to choose between me and her. See, it's a lot of grown boys pulling stunts like this. That's why I say it's on men to raise men. And we got to learn how to treat a woman, how to respect a woman, because we dogging women out. We dogging women out. We mistreating them. We taking them for granted. We taking them for granted. We manipulating. We using. We abusing. We lying. We cheating. This woman give you her heart. She gives you her life. She gives you her everything. She bears your children. She stay barefoot and pregnant for you to go out and cheat. For you to go out and cheat with a woman who done lost her mind because she done been abandoned and abused by every man in her life. So she beat down already, and you go sleep with her and make her the other woman when she already lost and confused. So you kick her while she down. And then your wife who's standing there with child, you kick her in her pregnant stomach. Metaphorically. And sometimes y'all doing this physically. I have been appalled. I have been shocked and appalled by the amount of women writing me in my Q&A and say, my baby daddy left me while I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant. I'm sick. Oh my goodness. I'm like, is you kidding me? What kind of man get a woman pregnant and leave her for another woman? I'm like, what in the world is going on? But see, look, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Ain't no money in truth. It's money in shucking and jiving. Why you ain't heard this message that I'm giving you right now from Dr. Phil, from Dr. Oz, from Steve Harvey, from everybody, every man with a TV show? Why you ain't heard a whole show dedicated to telling men to step up and man up? Ain't no money in that. Ain't no money in it because the system make money by us being in dysfunction. Because if we healthy and we sound and we got wisdom from the head down, then we can't be used and abused. But if I can break your black man, if I can break your household, if I can break your family, then I can make you a slave to commercialism. I can make you a slave to Gucci and gold. Because the more Gucci and gold you buy, because you ignorant and you hurt and you lost and you in pain, the more money we make, because the more taxes we charging, the more you go and spend. Now you going and buy your house, but you don't own your house because you got to pay me property taxes. And when you stop paying your property taxes, I'm taking your house back. So even when you buy your house, you still own nothing. But as long as I got your mind, this is what the system telling you, then I got you. But the only way I can get your mind is if I could strip your manhood. Is if I could grab you by your scrotum and twist it with all my might, then you worthless as a man, and now it's going to create a trickle-down effect, and you're going to abuse your woman, and then she's going to abuse your children, either mentally, verbally, or physically, and now as a people, you broken and you slaves. And then what I'm going to do, I'm talking for the system. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take your idiots. I'm going to take your fools. I'm going to take your slaves. I'm going to take these people and I'm going to give them a record deal. I'm going to give them a radio show. I'm going to give them a TV show. I'm going to unlock the algorithm on their social media so they can get millions of followers, call themselves a comedian, and go on tour. Call themselves a speaker and go on tour. I'm going to take your idiots. I'm going to take those men who are broken, who are lost, who are in fornication or adultery, who lying and misleading women, because women are the largest consumers between the sexes. 75% of readers are women. So I'm going to take these clowns and I'm going to give them influence, and I'm going to have women following them, and the women going to soak up the drugs of this single man giving relationship advice, or this comedian or this rapper or this radio host who talking about threesomes and foursomes are okay and you should do that. And so you soak it up, you question everything you know in your righteous mind, and now you broken down, you confused to reality TV, you addicted to reality TV, and now you gonna misraise your children because you broke and you lost because I gave you a fool to follow. And I took this fool and I took this broken man whose father was not in the home, because we stripped him, because this man took this man whose father was not in the home and stripped him of everything. So now we take and give him this record deal, and now he is lost and confused, and he gonna take this music and he gonna put it in your system. He gonna pump it in the system, and all this music gonna promote is fornication, adultery, violence, idolatry, greed. That's all it's gonna promote. But that's gonna be in your system. It's gonna be in your subconscious. It's gonna be in your mind, and you're gonna pass it down to your children. And guess what? I'm gonna control you. This is what the system's saying. So this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. My call to the men. That way y'all got to screen record this. Put it on your YouTube. Put it on your Facebook. My call to the men is wake up. Keep your righteous mind. Know who you are. Know what you call to. Understand your place and your position in God's kingdom and assume the position. Get in alignment so you can get your assignment, so that you can be used instead of being abused by the system to then abuse your women and children. So then you calling yourself a man and you say you love your kids, but your kids learn how much a man you are by how you treat their mother. And if you hate their mother, if you're cheating on their mama, if you're dogging out their mama, or you could be nice and good to their mama, but if you dogging out other women, you having threesomes and foursomes, and you doing all this, you still showing your daughter that she's worthless. You still showing your daughter that the female is worthless. And how is she to believe that you can treat every other female like she a piece of crap, and then she all of a sudden supposed to believe she a queen? No. Because what they say, children don't do what you say do. Children do what you do. You teaching your son that a woman is worthless, that a woman is a gold digger and a dog and all of this and that. You teaching your son that so he carries on what you have taught him. So I need you to understand. I need you to understand this here. That you got to get in position. You got to get in line. Young man, you got to get your life together. You got to get your mind right. You got to start living right and doing right. You got to understand who called you. And you got to start, I'm going to tell you, start with integrity. Just be faithful to your woman. Just start there. Be faithful to your woman. Treat her like a queen. Be faithful to your woman. Then guess what? Marry your woman. Be faithful to her. Submit and surrender to your calling from God. And then raise your children in a God-like manner. Raise your children with the instructions and the principles of God. Take your test and turn your test into your testimony. Take your mess and turn your mess into your message. Take your pain and let your pain birth your purpose. I'm calling you, young man. Even if you 55 years old, I'm calling you to the altar. I'm calling you to assume the position, to stop peddling ignorance, to stop peddling dysfunction, to stop peddling this backwards mentality that we are against marriage and we're against monogamy, we're against being faithful, that women are worse than men, that women cheat more than men, that women just as bad as men, that we ought to be opponents instead of being teammates. Stop peddling that. My rapper, my comedian, my radio host, my author, my speaker, my life coach. Let your life be an example to the children of the world. When you got a position, man and woman, know what you represent and who watching you. Hey, God bless y'all. I got to go. Talking too long, 37 minutes. I wanted to talk 15 minutes, went too long, but the Lord put that on my spirit today. This only lasts for 24 hours, so if you got one of those good phones, my phone don't work good. Raggedy iPhone X, I try to screen record and it cut the sound off. If you got a good phone, play this back and screen record it, then upload it on your YouTube, upload it on your Facebook. This is a call to all men. This is a call to all men. Assume the position. Get in alignment so you can receive your assignment from God. Start treating your woman like a queen. Be faithful to her. If you find a wife, you have found a good thing and you receive favor from the Lord, but it's only activated through faithfulness. It's only activated through service and love. It's only activated by loving her the way Christ loved the church. Hey, God bless y'all. This Tony Gaskins. I'm going to pop in every now and then. I probably keep sharing this same message over and over. It only give me 24 hours to keep this up. And I share it here. I need to start doing this on Facebook. But right now, Instagram is more active than Facebook. Facebook is kind of dying right now. They're struggling right now. That's why they bought Instagram, because they saw their demise was coming. And the people at Instagram should have kept their darn websites instead of sending it to Facebook, because now Instagram going to go down too in a little bit. But Facebook's so dead right now, so I got to share it here. Facebook allow you to archive the video at least, but Instagram does not allow you to save this longer than 24 hours. Hey, God bless y'all. We'll be in touch. I'm going to see if this thing will let me save the video to my phone, though. We will see.